Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Islands of Insight. So, off screen, I just did all of the music puzzles in this enclave. By doing them, I mean I cheated my way through them because I just have no talent at all for any of these. So, and yeah, these are all insane as far as just 2-3 beats sometimes playing at the same time. They seem insane to me. I'm sure if somebody had musical talent, they could do it. There was about 3 extra out of the bonus that needed to be done. But hopefully that will just leave me with not really having to worry too much about the musical puzzles for a while. Now, inherently we saw a lag there. As we loaded into this more watery area. There goes my bonus. And yeah, a lot of these definitely feel like these might be duplicates. As far as well, you see, I don't want to exit anywhere. I don't want to leave this area. I didn't exit out of the game until we turn in. Well, we don't have to turn in the quest. In fact, it would be best to finish the quest and then, where is it? Where did it go? Is it way down there? Well, whatever. There's just nothing here. Like I could go through all these puzzles. It might reset. I could try and solve them, but I really should just move on to the next enclave. Honestly, that probably would work. Just doing that, and that. Yep. So am I facing the right direction for where we want to go? Yeah, the highest viewpoint is more in that direction. And yeah, just infinite numbers of distractions on top of lagginess. I guess the question here to ask is, where are we at sparks? We have 3,000. I would like to get to 8,000, but if I get to just 4,000 and then do that, then I would take that as a good enough situation to exit out and reload this game, which definitely feels like that is a necessity. See, I don't even really want to stay in this area enough to try and goof around with things like that. Since we know puzzles load in and load out, there is a possibility that there's just literally a matchbox set in between each of these columns at different time frames that load in and load out. I mean, you really could get incredibly lazy as far as how all this would go. Connect all the dark cells, meaning that has to go that way, meaning that has to be that, meaning that pretty much has to go all the way there. There's definitely room in this open area for just incredible inconsistency. We could have 1-star difficulty puzzles literally next to 5-star difficulty puzzles. The highest viewpoint. You've reached the highest view vista, but can you surmount the greatest challenge that the viewpoint has to offer? We have only 4 merit ballistas extra from what was needed to enter this enclave. And this is going to take me into a far area, and I wouldn't be surprised if it stutters as we load into this area. There's a point in the witness where there was an area that perhaps intentionally was one of the lowest points in the whole world. And then the proper ending of the game was the highest point in the world. So the lowest point was kind of the extra challenge. I wouldn't be surprised if this is exactly what this is. We really don't have anything that special that we have to worry about. Guess this is just, we connect all the light cells. How do we connect all the light cells? You're gonna have to do it in a kind of unique way. Like that wouldn't work. That would work. That won't work though, which means only that would work. And then do that, and that won't work, and that won't work. And if either one of these connect at that point, that's too high. That's too high. That's too high. Well, interesting. Whatever this pattern is here is mirrored here. The only way this works is if that goes past that spot. Which does mean that that has to go past that spot. 1 second. I have a phone I'm running to try and OLED burn in, and I did not put it in silent mode. There we go. course, you can't really fix OLED burn-in, but you can try and burn the screen in more equally and make it slightly better. At least you can give an effort to that. Alright, well, wait a minute. That has to be that way. And that has to be that way. And that has to be that way. And that has to be that way. That has to be that way. So how do we connect this any further? This one sees more. See, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 fixes all of that. But then that would have to be blocked. Okay. Number 1 done without using any hints. Honestly, I probably should just use a foresight to begin with. Connect all dark cells, which just might be easier just to start that way. If we connected all of that, then something like that would work. Something like that would work, although then that's too much. So we know that is wrong. I guess I just have to get this to work, don't I? I guess we can just keep on playing with this. That's gonna be there, then that has to connect all the way down that way. We could do something like that. Then that still has to connect that way. Let's go ahead and use a foresight. Interesting. That disconnects a lot of things. Let's see how it can be this off. 2, 4, 6, then 3, then 2. Don't see how that could be right, though. Guess you could do that. By the way, I can pretty much confirm, I think at this point, that you absolutely get the hints in a random order. And so where the hint is on a puzzle definitely feels like it is not going to give you any extra information. And so yeah, this may just drag me into a nightmare scenario where I'm going to run into a whole bunch of difficult puzzles. Let's see. That would be 2 plus that's 5, leaving at least that much there. But inherently that puts, it gives 2 and 2 to those two. And the only way that would really work is if there was something close to that. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. One, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That much would give me 7. But then that much would give me 6. So if we were gonna convert it that way, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, still doesn't work. Yeah, at bare minimum those have to be that way. My question here, just how inside any of this is really going to be. 1, 2, 3 here and there. I'd have to be that way, if that was the case. Where does this 6? Okay. Maybe we bite into that. Maybe we do something closer to that. Of course, this also could be that way. One, two, three. That much and that much. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That would get to 7. That would get to 6. That's wrong. That's wrong. Interesting. Okay. I guess we'll continue down these paths and see if we can figure out a solution. If that's white, then inherently one of these two have to be dark. And if that's dark, okay, we got somewhere here. Man. This definitely at this point feels like your typical memory leak problem in video games, Unreal Engine games in particular, where you leave a game running for any amount of time and the textures and the RAM just starts to take everything up. So ELO AI, the scholar, fractals have self-similarity and repetition at all scales. This arrangement of structures is an all within all another all. It does leave me with a question: could we too be one of the leaves on the fractal tree? Hopefully the first says, I'm trying to wrap my mind around that thought. The crevices of my mind are developing their own crevices. Again, they're not really saying anything. This is bad writing pretending to be deep thoughts. Okay. So the main goal is to solve a certain amount of these. Okay, is there any way if we did this and we went this far that we could get enough? That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That wouldn't work. So inherently this has to go up to a certain amount. We've got maximum here of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 into there. In there. Then that leaves us with a 7, which can only go as far as that. And we are connecting all dark cells. And then can't go there. So then it has to go here. Which has just enough. And then this Could go here and here. Nope, can't go there. So there's a limitation there. Can't go here. It's either here or here. And since it needs the C4, we now know that there's a limitation on that. This one also can't go here. Could go here. Could go here. Okay. Now as far as 7 goes, we can't make that shape, but we need that. Can't make that shape, but we need that. Can't make that shape, but we need that. Can make that shape. I think that's pretty much everything. 3 plus 3 wouldn't work. 3 plus 3 would work. But then we would need to connect all dark cells, which would line up there, which means that there. Guess that's fine. Slight problem here, though. Well, I'm either doing this completely wrong, which is believable, Okay. 2, 4, 6. We would need one more here. Go ahead and use some foresight and see if this helps us. One, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Can't do that. Can do this. Yeah, there's very few places this will work. That's probably right. That's probably right. The only other thought would be to... No, can't even do that, can you? If there's a specific reason why those had to be white, then I should know it. Should be able to figure this out. Even that wouldn't work. What's the trick here? Apparently it was just doing that. And I couldn't click on that. So we get one more and we'll solve the main goal. Which at a certain level. So the possibilities of where red spots can go are actually very small, in that it is this, this, and this. We could also put one here. I guess you could put one here. I guess you could put one here. Can put one there. Do that. Could do that. We can do that. And you can do that. So all dark regions have area of 2, which means this one's wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's probably not going to work that way. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That wouldn't work. It's 5 and this 6 are both going to affect things. So that's very possibly wrong. But the good news is I do think I will be able to slow down this process. And let's see, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which, if I did that, I think that breaks that in a way that couldn't be adjusted. If I did that and that, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's way too many. Okay. 2, 4, 6 here would require blocking. Is there any way? Wow, way over there. Turns out to be wrong. Two, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's see any way that that's helpful. And if I sit here and wait for the foresights to refill for this puzzle, they won't refill for any of the other puzzles. Okay. Off screen I also got another one of these hints, but you can see as far as mystery hints go, there's still a lot to unlock. And yeah, I would say in The Witness, there was a whole timing mechanism to solving these puzzles that really made it super difficult. Whereas Islands of Insight is probably doing the right thing by putting all of the standard slow-paced solving together. Still, it's not like forcing you to learn a whole new system, whereas yeah, Islands of Insight, I mean The Witness, was kind of unfair in that the last one challenge was timed when none of the other puzzles really are timed. Okay, well, we did that. We can do that section. And if we did that, that wouldn't work. So my theory would be that we're probably doing something like that. this has to go in this direction, and then can't go this way, can't go this way, can't go that way, inherently making that have to be that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess it has to be like that. Okay, I guess that still works. This is connecting way too many things, though. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 would have to be the stop of it. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, that would have to be the stop of it too. It does make more sense. Do we perhaps just connect this 4 to these 5? Nope. That won't connect right. And this alone then connects these 2, which that's too many already. Let's see. Okay. That's the trick there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I don't see how that works. Okay. There's kind of no way this is right. None of this is being helpful. 3, 3. We would need another 3. Which if we did that, and that would fill in that spot. Okay, that all works. I just would need to reduce the number of pieces touching this by a decent amount. Apparently it's not going to work that way. Okay, 1, 2, plus that is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now. Okay, that fixes a lot of issues. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Guess if I was just short 1. See if we can address this issue. Just ever so slowly grinding this all out. It definitely doesn't feel to me like it's the case that we're really learning how to solve these puzzles as much as we are just kind of cheating our way through these puzzles. And the hints, because I think they're random, I think are significantly less valuable than they could be. If there was more of a procedural, you have to make this next step type of solution, instead of just you can make several changes to the logic grids at any point. And I guess that is one of the beauties of Sudoku variants that are often highlighted on channels like Cracking the Cryptic, is that most of those variants have at least an initial break-in that leads to usually a linear path where you have to take step A to step B to step C all the way to step Z, and you can't derail yourself off of that path. That is very much a different experience than what I think you're having here. Here I think you do step A, and then there's B1 through B25 as far as different possibilities or ways to do it. At least it feels that way. Maybe it's not really that way. Certainly it's possible. Okay. If I was to do that, and do that, that won't work. All of this seems pretty neat in that it doesn't seem like there's a ton of different ways we can pull this off. and I definitely would like it. Like there's some simple tweaks I would have really loved in this game to see happen. One being that when you solve a puzzle, you then are given at least one extra foresight. Don't make a black pattern. Connect all the light cells. Well, that pattern works fairly well. So we are 1, 2, 3, 4 in there, and then we're 2 in here on the third, so that can't be right. That's not going to help. What I need to have happen here so those two can flip. If that flips, that flips. So 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. That pattern works. Which means this pattern probably still works. Which means this pattern still works. Okay, which means these patterns probably still work. Let's see if we do that. Okay. So I'm making a lot of patterns here. Trying to see if there's a way to stop the 6. That was not what I was trying to do. I was trying to do this. Okay, we're back. So we see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that's 5, 6. 5, 6, 7. we need to lose these spots. Okay. And that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, I don't see. Let's see how you pull this off. Okay. That gets us back to where we were. Making a lot of patterns here that may not be really necessary. And then it wants me to bring it in even further. Which tells me then that can't be it. Alright, so we do have everything here. Maybe. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Supposed to connect all light cells. Oh, I didn't realize I could change that one. There doesn't really seem like there's anything here. You just have a stone face figure and a bunch of puzzles. Yeah. I feel like move here is probably to do something like that. Of course, we can't do that. Not completely, because we need to connect all of these. And if we can't do something like that, we can't do something like that, then it's either that or that or that or that or that or that. Okay. If we can't do something like that, how can we draw upon this? Don't we have to have lines? No, we can't have lines. That's what this is, I think, getting at. If there's gonna be a 2, it's gotta be something along that lines. Can't end there, can I? There's just going to be a massive amount of extra white spots everywhere. Well, the good news is I think we pretty much got it. It's with the exception of this one spot. So, the rest of this is really more of to connect all light cells. I mean, we can't make it 2 by 2, which means we've got to just put some spoilers into all of this. Which honestly, this may not be that difficult. Could just go on forever. And honestly, there might be a pattern emerging. Yeah, there very well could be just a pattern emerging as you're just zigzagging all the way around here. But yeah, this also is like too many difficult puzzles back to back. It's turning my brain to mush. This whole game has worn down my tolerance for puzzles quite a bit in 29 episodes. Probably majorly because it's repetitive. Now, I would argue most games that have puzzles usually have them as their second or third gameplay mechanic, and so you see them infrequently enough that they're not really that big of an issue. But even when you're talking about puzzle games, you have way fewer than what we have in this game usually. There were points, I imagine, in most puzzle games that I've covered where I've been frustrated with them. Though, I feel like what happens very often is I forget the frustration after a couple of days and then think myself to be just a slightly better puzzler than I really am, and then end up jumping back into things. Darts are the opposite color cells in that direction, which 6 means only one of these can be white, which means that best case scenario that can be white, and that means best case scenario at least those two are white. This is 4, which has now been reduced down to 3. This is 3, 2, 5. Am I getting anything from any of this information? Not particularly. It says don't make this shape. Is there? Well, best case scenario, that has to be white too. And if it, and then this has to be this has to be this. I guess that's all true. Alright, and this goes down 3, and it can't go down any further ones. So it has to go this way, which means that has to be that. Which means that has to be that. This also could go one more this way, and we could do that. And that. But it can't go all the way that way. Okay. What else can we take from this? This, if it was to go all the way down, that's 2, 4, yeah, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. But you can't do that. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 makes that at least white. And then could go that way. 4 spaces, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Meaning we only know that much to be true. This 5 means at least one goes that way. Not really though, because this could be 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5 that way. Is 6. Well, so it's 1 here and 1 here. And there'd have to be at least 2 here, which then connects to this and gives you 4, which means 5, 6. Does that tell us anything? Well, I think it does. I think it tells us that much has to be true. Let's see, if I was to make no, I don't think that helps me any. If I was to look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is doable. That would then make this have to go here and this go here. But I also could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stop there. But then if I was to stop there, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 still would work. 4 here, if correct, means that much has to go that way, which it doesn't seem correct. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That just leaves this 5 in the wrong place. Several mistakes. We change that, then we probably have to change that. Change that. Let's see. Where can I squeeze 4 dark spots here? One more logic grid to do the bonus, and then it will tell me how many more. You can see that there's 1 here. And the hope here is that some of these would just prove themselves to be easier. Connect Collect all light cells. Well, it can't go here. It can't go there, so it's gotta go there. Which... yeah. See how this is going to work. Really? Yeah, the question is, how can we fiddle with this? So this would be correct. I don't see a great way in which we're going to pull that off. That filled in that section. If we were to do something like that. Can we figure out some trick here? Yes, we can. And so that was the bonus, which is that going to give us a mirror bliss? Yep. It's just the game is moving really slowly. And then the bonus just unlocked another bonus to solve 15. Yeah. We didn't see that coming. Although inherently it kind of doesn't even matter. Because there's just going to be a whole puzzle here. This one is locked as dark, so we have to include that. Okay. So let's take that knowledge for what we can understand on that. Wow, way over here we're wrong. If you have a corner piece like that, then though that's wrong, then that's gotta be right, and then that's gotta be wrong, and then entire sections here have to be wrong. And I suspect there is just a hole. Move here. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. Okay. We're out of hints at this point. Out of hints, out of cheats. Not getting too far in the wrong places. What is going on? I can't really go further that direction. Can't really go downward. can't go up that direction either. If that was wrong, there's got to be something closer to that. But then if it ends, it basically has to start and end here, doesn't it? Because there's no opportunity because of this shape for it to ever branch. Yeah. Which would mean this would have to curve up something like that. I just don't see how that happens. Okay, if that's wrong, then I guess that connects all of that. But there's no way that's the case. So let's eliminate that. I'm just all over the place here, almost certainly. How can we even connect to this piece? Yeah, and I think it already told me that that was wrong. Okay, that's wrong. Still, this has got to be wrong. No, it's got to go more. I don't get it. I don't get how you end up here and cover that. And connect to that. And the fact that it's not telling me the other ones are wrong feels like that's a tacit admission that they're correct, but frankly I'm just taking so long to get foresights. And doing these really difficult puzzles is not giving me a whole bunch of sparks or anything. Like, we're at 3,518. I'd like to have 8,000. I will take 4,000. Of course, I'll really just take whatever it's going to give me. Meanwhile, let's say we came over here and looked at this. So then we could unlock that. Or let's say we were going to come over here Or let's say we were going to come over and try and customize our character. Yeah, let's just do that. Can we find anything that looks any good at all? Not really. Do we have any new markings? We are hitting the point though where spending sparks to unlock these items makes more sense, since there's only one more upgrade that you can do with them. You can just feel the game stuttering like crazy. Guess we can turn that on. Just don't look like they're actually locked. When I hover over them, it doesn't say locked. That one does say locked. If any artist had put any effort into these custom character options, you probably could have made a decent looking character. And once there was even a slight artistic vision behind it, I imagine. You could have definitely done something different. But most of this is absolute just nonsense. It's not visually attractive. It's not something I'd want. I would assume the color of your clothing might very well have to do with either a default color, or maybe there is something under the body color that will change the color of the outfits. But I honestly couldn't tell you what that is. Let's see. Skin color. It's not green. Yeah, I didn't click on anything that was green or indicated green. Right. So while I was in that menu, did I get any hints? Yes. Did I get a significant amount of hints? Wow. Just cheat / dumb luck my way into the solutions. And I guess if you could teleport yourself back to this area, it might make some sense. Okay. There's something interesting about this, isn't there? Connect to all light cells. Connect to all dark cells. Okay. If this showed a 6 there, that would have to be there, and that would have to be there, and then that would have to be there, which would then bring that down, and so that tells me that is wrong. This, one way or another, has to connect to that, so these pretty much means something like that. Nope. That 2 has to be separated. That would hit 6, but this would not. So it's making a bit of a mess, but I do think it is probably slowly going to reveal the truth. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 have to be there. That, lock that into there, which then could let us lock that into there, which could let us potentially lock that into there. And if we were to try that, then 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 7. See, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 7. If this is dark, then one of these has to be dark too. One, two. Okay, so we're slowly snaking this backwards, I think. Maybe not. connects that, but then it stops connecting that. Should we push that further high? Up. Again, shocked by being anywhere close to the solution on that. I see one there, I see one there. Where is the last one? If there are only 15 puzzles here, which I suspect is the case. I guess the most shocking thing that could happen here, you've solved the 15th puzzle, and then this stone statue speaks. It starts animating and starts talking. Or you just hear, oh, I bet there's just one on top. Well, whatever. We will just jump up really high. Nothing particularly special for jumping from the highest viewpoint. Yeah, even if it just started to make a sound, would be interesting. All numbers are off by 1. Okay. Interesting. Is there a way to make all of this work? All dark regions have an area of 5. Well. Didn't that mean something? So you're just like destroying this 5. And clearly this is the number 5. So this is a more handcrafted puzzle. Destroying the 5 in the hopes of getting it all to work. Okay. Four, 5, 6. We connect to that. Of course, then that would be wrong. And then that would be wrong. don't have to connect all light spots, though. Okay, that's crazy, because then that just means all of that has to be white, doesn't it? And there's just no good way. That's correct. Not really that far off. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I put one there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's locked at being white. Don't have to connect all white sections though. I have no idea how I'm supposed to solve this. And we're taking the number 5 here and converting it into a completely different shape. So if there is some super secret code that we're revealing through all of this process, well, that's going to be a nightmare scenario. That is definitely going to would be wild and crazy if the number 5 actually translates to this symbol, and then we're supposed to use that symbol to encode something else. Inherently, if we were even going to begin to believe that, we'd have to find several other puzzles that would have numbers associated with them. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's just nothing to do here. I'll just take a moment and drink some water. There is no walkthrough to solve all these. I'm not sure you really even could make a walkthrough to solve all these puzzles. In a funny way, this series might be the closest thing to a walkthrough, and it's certainly not going to be fast. It is possible, though, that we get to the end of the game and then it gives us infinite foresight, so we can just cheat, or it gives us the ability to just have the solution handed to us. If that was the case, then yeah. Suppose then there would be room continued play if we were given some very powerful assistance like that. Or maybe there is some deep insight. Wouldn't it be crazy if it's just hit the number 5 or F5 on the keyboard and it automatically solves? Okay. So this paints us into a corner. Because you have this, there's no way that doesn't connect to that, which best case scenario makes that white. Possibly does that. We don't know. Which that brings us to this white spot. Making some major assumptions here and hoping they're true just because the game hasn't corrected me so far. But there was a point here where we had these two marked as black and the game didn't correct me on that either, I don't think. Okay, no clue. Just get rid of them all, then. Maybe that was the better strategy that could have been done here, is I could have just filled everything in with white, and then I could have dropped one foresight hint to tell me which one was wrong and needed to be black. And then from that, I could have worked out what group of 5 cells touching that one would make the most sense. Yeah, there is probably a more optimized way to solve this. I guess I could go over there. I guess while we're here, we'll look around and see if we can find the final puzzle, because I don't see it. We've got 5 difficulty here, we've got this. I think that's a completely different island. Nope, from this angle I do not see the puzzle. We can see every single launch pad of the enclave to and fro from this direction. And at a certain point they probably should just disappear. There's an all-seeing monolith. Here is possibly a pearl being depicted. And you can definitely see how from this point this is probably a skybox. It doesn't look real like the rest of the game has, but maybe there's something to that. If this is supposed to be the highest point and I'm standing on the high point on the highest point, then what is that over there? But this is called the highest viewpoint. Here you have the nebula. Here you have, I imagine, a sky drop. There is no moon or sun really in this world. Over there, I think, is the fracture. Okay. That's white. And that's gotta be white. And that's gonna be black. Okay. So if that connects that, then we know these here are white too. Let's. So is there any way? This is touching 2, this is looking at 3, and then that would be wrong. So I think that pretty much has to be that way. And that pretty much has to be that way. And then this goes straight down and is seeing way too many. So, kinda need one here. Kinda need one here. Okay. Not sure how this really is supposed to all work. That is wrong too. Which means that has to connect here. These those have to be that way. Oh, that could work. Don't seem too far off now. Still feel like that has to be that, but it doesn't get us in a better position. And the only other thing I can think of doing is we do have this a twist of fate mystery. Stand upon the highest land in the known realm and fly towards the worlds within worlds. Halfway there, drop to the ground and solve the lone logic grid in the area. It harbors a secret if all lotuses are rotated a eighth of a turn clockwise. So, let's look at the map. We are here. If we flew halfway towards this, which I assume is the world within world, that would put us in this area. And then I guess if we could find lotus flowers, if we even knew what a lotus flower looked like, which I think they're white. But halfway here from this spot, let's just zoom out. Halfway here, from halfway there, you've got a lot of room for failure here. And then you assume also that this is the highest point in land, which it probably isn't, which would change things quite a bit. Yeah. Lone logic puzzle. Island. I think logic puzzles aren't really mentioned or shown. And this could be the highest point in the land, certainly. This could be higher. And then halfway through that would be somewhere over here. Drop to the ground and solve the lone. Halfway there, drop to the ground and solve the lone logic grid in the area. Which does tell you at least that the logic puzzles can't just appear. So, from here to here to here. I will put a marker there, and we'll see. There would have to be just no logic grids in a massive area there. Okay, so what's the next step here? Guess you could do that. If you did that, then that would be a problem. Could do that. Are we seeing anything in the patterns of the solved spots that would hint towards more solutions? I think the rule set of all numbers off by 1 is just kind of a way too wide and open possibility. It just doesn't feel like it's something that should be an option. Yep. Pretty obviously this is just wasting a lot of my time. I'm sure it's not just my time that's being wasted here, but there's just not a lot else you can do. A underclude grid. Maybe this would be more useful. Okay. Well, if we know this only sees 4, then this one has to at least see 1 there. And then if we know if this one sees 6, then this one has to see at least 2 there. Then if this one sees 4, and this one sees 6, and one of them is here, if that has to be that way. Yeah, 4. And then, I mean, this still could be 2. No, this could only be 1. At most. And then, is there any possible way these two don't connect? No. It has to connect that way. Is there any possible way this goes all the way this direction? Well, that would only be 3, 6, 7, 8. Still would have to connect here. Is there any possible way with 3, 6, 7, 8? This isn't connected. Okay. Is there any possible way this could be a 5? Yes. Is there any possible way this could be a 7? Yes. And I could probably use some hints here to solve this one, but I probably shouldn't. I should just try and figure it out. Because this sees 2 now, that means, and this sees 2, means that in total there's probably a limitation over here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 9, or these 2 and the 1 here. So I guess that has to be that way. Is that possible? I mean, this is going to have 3, 6, at most 7, and then 8, 9, 10. So that may actually be wrong guess. This 8, if it went straight this way, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Nope. I don't think there's any larger bit of information to take from that. I think the next bit of information is the 5. Yeah, best case scenario, these 2 make a 5. Or this connects here to make a 5. And at that point, 1 has to go in one of these directions. And then the 7 needs to see 3. Fewer than what this sees. 1, 2. Which means this, both of these need to see 1. Which tells me that probably is the right move. Is there something crazy? 4, 5, 6. So there's something crazy we can take from this. So that pushed it out more in certain directions. A 7 now. To get to 7, still could go straight this way, and could go these two in here, and here. We could go this direction to get to 4, 5, 6, 7. Although, wouldn't the 10 kind of force that to do that? And that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which means that would have to be black. Either the white is here or the white is here. Assuming this is correct, which means there's only one white here, which would make the 10 see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, meaning 9 either has to be here or here. Is that correct? That the 5 has to be there? Why would that have to be correct? That seems crazy. All those little particle effects as the puzzle solved. Well, I'll take a moment here, since it says 13 out of 15 puzzles, to wander around the island again and see if we can find that 15th puzzle. Clearly, it's worth pointing out that this game does not hide its puzzles to any major extent, which would justify the cooldown timers on the hints being as long as they are. I just don't think that's the intent anyways. Okay. Is that other puzzle. Don't make this pattern. Viewpoint starts count the opposite number of colors. Okay. 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 So then this is just gonna, I think, evolve into fiddling with these puzzles over and over again. I would suspect the move here maybe to make something more of a pattern But the pattern can't be right. It can't be like that, can it? That wouldn't make sense. But yeah, there definitely could be a pattern. Yeah. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That being locked in makes me suspect something. I think we can be kind of certain that we generally are going to figure out this whole trick. This is just gonna keep on going. Yeah, the odds of this seems just like really some of these may not matter as much. Some of these may matter a lot more. Just gotta double up. Almost certainly is right. If the 5 is in this shape, it can't really be in that shape, can it? Yeah, this has got to be wrong, because anything you do to try to get rid of pieces is gonna fail miserably. So something is wrong here. Like this has to be wrong. Then that would mean this would probably have to be wrong, and then that would have to be wrong. That just leaves me completely confused. Okay. I'm fairly close to being done, and I'm fairly close to the end of the episode. If I like the thing is, I think this whole shape here, this whole pattern is wrong. I don't think it's something as simple as just moving that to that and then calling it a day. Still just not. Still just not the right setup. Wow, I looked into that one. Well, the good news is, as this game continues to stutter, is that it's highly unlikely there are extra puzzles. In this section. This does just feel like it is one of two extra enclaves that seem to be added to each area, and so there's usually 5, with the exception of the first area that has 6 enclaves, one of which is a mystery enclave and only really has about 5 puzzles on it. So they're asking you to do 3/5 of the totality of the enclaves before you get to the Flame of Enlightenment, which probably is the end of the game, with this being kind of a post-game thing for doing mysteries, or the end of at least the first half of the game. And then it's going to be, your mileage varies as far as, do you want to solve 1 or 2 mysteries to get into the post-game content, and certainly how many of the other things do you really want to do as far as Pillars of Insights, Trials, All-Seeing Monoliths. All-Seeing Monoliths in particular stand out as being something that you may just have to walk around quite a bit. There is overall not great numbers, but actually I might actually be able to do 100% of all the puzzles in the first area the sightseeing perspective puzzles would start to become limited, though. If there's only a couple places where those can spawn, the numbers get way smaller. But then the percentages might jump up too. There is that possibility. As I'm looking at some of these percentages, like they're going to 1 decimal, but I've cleared 0 rings, but it still says there's only 16 of those in the entire game for the first Verdant Glen area. It'll be things on top of things on top of things, certainly. But if I had a little bit more determination, I might see myself actively trying to solve all of Verdant Glen and do 100% of Verdant Glen just to see if something happens there. It's possible. It is also possible that that could unlock something, although nothing really is unlocked so far in the game, so why would I believe anything? It's been unlocked now. Right. And so that is 100% complete as far as this area goes. That is Towering Heights as a location, and I feel like I am slightly looking downward towards that, standing here. Nothing happened as far as the statue, as far as I can tell, and I wasn't really expecting anything to really happen. And is there any other location in the game? No. So, here's our marker. It says to fly this direction. And I imagine that the foot trails look like you have little jetpacks coming out of your feet. Unless there was a floating island that was really high up here, it would stand out. There we can feel the game with the streaming loading feature. Now the world does seem, at least in that part, like it actually is a real world, and that looks like a real world. The island there certainly has a thought, and then that area does also feel like something. This is a great example of where the game itself is not really giving you any floating puzzles or flying puzzles, so your gliding ability, as all these sky drops start to load in, yeah, your gliding ability is not super useful. Lotuses could mean number 8 in Mahjong, if this is a reference to Mahjong. But no, I don't think so. That's the problem. The game is straight up not even micro stuttering. At this point, it is just locking up. So these now have the Grandmaster tournament times on them if you wanted to engage with all of that. Collecting all the lore will be something we probably want to do. Eloi the Scholar. Nature is a mystery until its inner workings are uncovered, but that only makes it more beautiful. It is apparent in elegant chaos, the disorder, the implication that hold true without exception. With each answer, new questions emerge. And at the root of all questions, we find those existential significance in our existence. That's what that means. So yeah, these little patterns here, these platforms, if there is a significant amount of them, that is a lot of logic grids. Let's see, are these lotuses? Basically do need to clean up the entire world of the sky drops, because if you don't, the game is just gonna run very. Riverland Bridge, mysterious hidden cubes. Yeah. So, it's a little mushroom. Get in here. A whole bunch of hidden cubes everywhere. And I imagine your mileage is just going to vary as far as after doing all the enclaves and doing possibly the more difficult puzzles, are you still going to have enough in you to want to wander around an area like this? What was that? It, for some reason, bounced me off. Yeah, and are lotuses supposed to be the white tiles? Maybe that's the trick. Okay. Drop to the ground, rotate the white tiles. What was it? No, I can't imagine how the other hints are going to be. Stand upon the highest land in the known realm. Fly towards the world within worlds. Halfway there, drop to the ground and solve the lone logic grid in area. It harbors a secret if all the lotuses are rotated an eighth of a turn clockwise. An eighth of a turn clockwise, right? So, let's solve this. Just start by doing this. We have to connect dark regions so that they have 4. And can't make that, so you think you have to do that. Okay. All dark regions have a 4. Okay. So, if this was the puzzle, and then we turn this an eighth of a turn, then everything would be kind of diagonal. And while this could be a pattern of something, there's not really an X marks the spot on this. Or anything like that. Run around in circles and see if we do any more. This is just a whole trial. Find a bunch of hidden cubes. might be a good... See, there's another logic grid. Right. So the question to ask really is, where's an area where logic grids just could not be? It's halfway, feels like even the audio is causing this to stutter. And there's clearly more hidden cubes. Literally just walking into one. They're so highly abundant. Yep. Movement puzzles. Even if I got the Luminous quest done, I wouldn't want to turn them in until I exited it out and reloaded the game, because we know the bugs that loses me sparks. Inherently, I'm not going to get everything here. What I would have to do is generally just kind of walk towards this spot. That's kind of the only thing I could do. Is get my bearings. Assume that it's not somewhere further. There's a lot of room to wander around this area in particular, looking for these puzzles. Because those kinds of puzzles do seem to be more prominent in this area. It's a lot of circles, but are the circles there anything, or are they just shadows from rings? Area, the only logic puzzle in the area, is a just really nebulous term. Even now the game is struggling. And this is a great example of how the whole thing can turn into a mess simply by having a puzzle somewhere else in a way. feel like you could go in circles here for a very long time. Not really making any progress. Just constantly getting run away. There probably is some spots here that are not helpful. If I'm moving in those spots, it's probably not doing anything. This is the exact puzzle I needed to solve, and I'm not going to be able to figure it out. And these are kind of the exact puzzles I don't need to solve. As long as there are some, might as well do it. You effectively have to just have a greedy. We're going too long here, so I'm gonna just try and avoid solving puzzles. Of course, if I see matchboxes, if I see invisible hidden arches, if I see rings I can actually fly through, those are all things that would kind of make sense. Yeah. I just don't see this. Exactly one symbol per area. Okay. That's going to leave us doing some highly capable things, I imagine. I have to connect all dark cells. Yeah, an eighth of a turn there. Still doesn't feel like anything. And I inherently don't even know what I'm looking for. So how could I possibly find something I don't even know what I'm looking for? There's just so many ravines also. It is possible that these puzzles also change their configuration, but are always in the same location. If that was the case, that would tell me a bit. As far as just that would make it more doable to solve those. course, you do those and then you're completely spun around. Yep, difficult puzzles are everywhere. I'm not going to get a break. Unless it was a pearl. I mean, that clearly would be the one place where it might make some sense. Almost certainly, though, from this spot, where were we? I don't even know. I should have dropped a marker. Let's say we were about here, and we flew here. We are past the halfway point at that spot. And this feels like that doesn't feel correct, and that doesn't feel correct. The Riverland Bridge is about the closest one, but we found plenty of logic puzzles there. That seems completely wrong. We can go ahead and remove that marker because that was the music one. We can go ahead and move that marker. Alright. And yeah, there's just nothing more to do. We could certainly run around and do other quests. There's no reason. We could cancel some of these quests and take other quests that would give us more, since we haven't made any real progress on it. Rings and sky drops, easy quest to have. But yeah, next episode is the beginning of the end, as far as I'm concerned, in that we are going to do the next enclaves that the story is telling us to do, the last 3 or 4, and then it will just be a matter of perseverance. Otherwise, I do want to unlock more hints to mysteries. Maybe we can find several mysteries. Maybe by finding several mysteries, that would lead to something more in the game overall. There's still plenty of trials everywhere to do, and massive amounts of things in general just to do in every area. Let's not collect the sparks at that moment. Yep. Lore fragments. The whole game might change completely, though, if all of a sudden the goal is just going to be flying around looking for lore fragments and ignoring the vast majority of puzzles that will be around us, or if the game is going to be trying to do all the puzzles in Area 1 just to see what would happen there, or just finding the all-seeing monolith in Area 1, or doing all the trials in Area 1. There's a lot of different opportunities of stuff you could waste your time on Unfortunately, I have to describe it as wasting your time, though, at this point. I don't think it's going to really lead to anything more than just more puzzles, and whatever self-satisfaction you can gather from solving puzzles. Anyways, we're going long, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and keep on watching. Thanks.